and the lady come out and stabbed a rat.
What was that? Can you repeat that?
She's the second time she come out with a knife or something and just looked at us and just come up and poked it.
Yeah, poked a rat, stabbed a rat.
What do you mean? Like there's just a rat out there and she came out and stabbed it?
Yeah.
Was it somebody's pet rat or was it just like a loose rat?
No, it's a job action.
That's clips of two separate 911 calls from Monday outside of Staub Funeral Home. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this. We talked about it at the beginning of the show, but some of you aren't up that early, so I figured we'd give it another crack and hear from you. 217-629-7970. That's the phone number here with Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. And let's just go ahead and air for you the first call that came in. This one was from one of the union employees, the roofers that were outside of Staub Funeral Home that called in about the incident, the the disturbance outside of Staub Funeral Home. This call coming from Randy Baxter.
One address of your emergency.
Yeah, could you send an officer out to Staub's Funeral Home on 5th Street?
Yeah, what's going on over there?
Well, we're union roofers, and we're kind of protesting because there's not union here. The lady just come out of Staub's and poked a hole in one of our rat things or whatever, and they're getting kind of nasty, and we have all the right to be here, so we need an officer over here.
What's your name?
My name's Randy Baxter, I'm a member of Roofers Local 112, but she just come out and poked a... My phone number...
Of course, that's redacted.
Okay, was she a white or black female?
She's a white female. She's the second time she come out with a knife or something and just looked at us and just come up and poked it.
And what's she wearing?
Pardon?
What's she wearing?
Pardon?
Did you see what she was wearing?
Yeah, she got like a leopard top on and black pants.
Okay, we'll get in there.
A leopard top on. And, of course, the individual that Springfield Police confronted at Staub Funeral Home being Lauren Staub. And the police report says that she admitted to stabbing the rat, an inflatable rat, and was arrested. But another 911 call came in before police arrived, this one from John Nix, who had, again, both of these calls, the people calling in don't talk about it being an inflatable rat, which was kind of strange. We talked about this earlier this morning with your phone calls, looking for more of them, 217-629-7970. You can also email bishoponair@gmail.com. But here is the phone call to 911 from John Nix, another union member outside of Staub Funeral Home on Monday.
Location of your emergency.
Yeah, well, sort of a Staub Funeral Home job action, and lady just come out and stabbed a rat.
What happened?
Oh, we're with the union roofers and have a job action for the Staub's Funeral Home, and lady just come out and stabbed our rat.
She came out and did what? I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Stabbed our rat. We have a job action going on. She come out and stabbed it.
Stabbed a rat?
Yeah. She came out with a...
What do you mean? Like there's just a rat out there and she came out and stabbed it?
Yeah.
Was it somebody's pet rat or was it just like a loose rat?
No, it's a job action.
So good. You can kind of hear some of the confusion there from the dispatcher. I want to hear your calls, 217-629-7970. That's the phone number. I did get one email in. It says, Greg, this union is shooting themselves in the foot. Any family that does business with Staub and has to see this kind of bullying by a union will take that into consideration if they ever need to hire someone for a project. And the irony is most of the guys that are members of any union probably started out working and learning their trades with a non-union independent contractor. The emailer goes on to say all unions do are take dues and claims to be a brotherhood when in fact they are self-serving, overpriced racketeers. Again, that's from an emailer. You can chime in here live and local at 217-629-7970. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Good morning, Greg.
Hey.
You know, it did sound like a communication problem on the 911 call. But I will say, you know, Staub has been a long-standing funeral home for years, and they have a great reputation. They have great service for people. And you know what the gentleman did, okay, maybe it was legal. And however, I'm thinking was it morally right what they did? Because just putting the rat up and right in front of the funeral home on their property, and it was just distasteful of them to do that.
Yeah, and I think that's seems to be kind of the consensus, even from some who are ardent supporters of unions, saying it just wasn't the best approach to set up a 20-foot tall inflatable rat outside of a funeral home.
One more thing, Greg. Yeah. It kind of reminds me of this. Okay, it may have been legal, but it reminds me of the Sound of Music, Captain Von Trapp, when maybe I'm taking this to extreme, but when the Nazis put the flag out in front of his home and he tore it up, it was legal for them to do that, but it was immoral because it was immoral of them to put that flag up on his property because of what it stood for,
Yeah.
And maybe that's an extreme, but I'm just saying they should have respected what the funeral home stands for.
Yeah, well, I think what you just did there was, I think it's called Godwin's Law. You invoked Nazi imagery into a debate. I think that's what it is. Godwin's Law, I'm not sure. Anyways, good morning. You're on WMAY.
Good morning, Greg. Let's also be clear, there was no services going on at the time, too. It said in the Illinois Times.
Yeah.
So,
but I don't know if there were people there who had just lost a loved one getting consultations on what to do for services. That I'm not clear on.
Right. Well, again,
because that does happen at funeral homes, right? I mean, you do have families who just lost loved ones that might be visiting with a funeral director and getting all the options in front of them, and that's a hard time too.
Yeah, no, I get it, but also when would be a good time to protest a funeral home? I mean, think about it. When would be ever?
Well, one thing to hold banners up. Another thing to put out a 20-foot tall inflatable rat, which it's legal, and Scabby the inflatable rat has been apparently deemed a free speech right, so they can do that. But again, kind of to the question of, was it good taste to do that?
I don't know. It also is, you can't take the law in your own hands too. So we've got to get past this.
Well, yeah, and what happens next? Are we going to see the charges, or is there going to be something worked out behind the scenes that's amicable?
I'm sure Staub will pay it off. They got the money.
Well, yeah, and so in that case, then should there be criminal charges pressed?
Well, yes. I mean, she did a criminal act, so.
Got you down. 217-629-7970. A few more calls coming in here. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Yeah. Hey, I think it was years ago, I think when Texas Roadhouse was being built, they did the same thing out there. And I like to troll a little bit, so I go up and start talking to the guys. And what I think is really ironic is that none of those guys that were out there with the rat and the signs and stuff at Texas Roadhouse back in the previous scenario, they were just like day laborers that the union paid these guys like $80 or $100 to just go stand out there. Like, they weren't paying them union wages to do that. They weren't part of the union. They were just random guys.
Yeah, and I don't know these individuals if they claim to be part of the union in the 911 call, but I've heard that before as well. That are the people holding the pickets and setting up the rat actually union members themselves? 217-629-7970 is the phone number. Again, we'll get to your calls here in a moment.
And we have a job action going on, and a lady come out and stabbed the rat.
And then the dispatcher.
What do you mean? Like, there's just a rat out there and she came out and stabbed it?
Yeah.
Was it somebody's pet rat, or was it just like a loose rat?
No, it's a job action.
Good morning. You're on WMAY.
It was a job action. I can't believe it. Who knows what a job action means? Anyhow, I think
don't know either. Neither of them said anything about an inflatable rat. They just kept talking about a job action, and they stabbed the rat, and
these guys sound about as bright as a dull crayon.
All right, we don't have to,
Anyway,
you're
right. But here's the thing: she stabbed the rat. She did it. She's gonna have to get charged with it. That's the way it works.
I gotcha. All right, 217-629-7970. One last one. Good morning.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with the last guy. Them guys sound like morons, and that's who they hire in the union.
Come on,
morons.
All right, well, got you down. All right, that's all I think that's the last we're going to talk about this story, at least for now. So we'll keep you posted, of course, get your reaction, because it's just a story that, oh boy, it won't go away, I don't think.